Men who know their self-worth don't just let other people walk all over them and overstep their own boundaries just to avoid any conflict. They are always in use of absence. Because when you give the cold shoulder to people who disrespect you, you are showing them that they have to show a certain amount of respect to you in order to be allowed to stay in your environment. Because otherwise there is no point of keeping them around anymore. In this video you will learn how to use absence to win over day-to-day interactions in which you are being disrespected. So let's hop right into it. In my opinion, most people react far too rarely with absence in heated situations, but respond directly to the rudeness of the person insulting them. Unfortunately, what most people forget is that if you address the disrespect of the other person, you lower your value to their level. A true leader does not engage in the childish behavior of the other person just to be able to stand up to them. But keeping your usual behavior is not a solution either, because they will realize that you don't value yourself that highly because you are engaging in the conflict, and they will be tempted to keep playing their games. So, what can you do about it to master this situation to your advantage and come out a winner? Remember, most of the time the things we do have more impact than the things we say. When someone insults you, you have to leave them out in the cold in the first place. Completely eradicate from your mind that they exist. Turn your eyes, body language and communication away from them. By doing so, you are clearly showing them what happens when they exhibit such bad behavior. Namely, you are depriving them of what people naturally crave the most: attention. That's why the method of showing absence is so effective, because you deprive your opponent of what they want most from you when they insult you in the first place. The funny thing is that if you punish the person with your absence, they will suddenly do anything to get your attention back. I have noticed this with some tough guys in my circle of acquaintances. When you withdraw your attention, they suddenly change their behavior and they want to behave respectfully towards you, because they have clearly been shown that they have gone too far and they don't want to lose your favor. In the blink of an eye, you are now suddenly the person who is in the stronger position. Words simply reduce your value, remember that. If you keep this in mind, then this will preserve your valuable tool of communication. Because if you get into the fray with a rude person to the fullest, your emotions will want to tell you that it is okay to lose your temper and hold that person accountable to their misbehavior. But don't let that happen under any circumstances, because in such a situation you often say things that you bitterly regret afterwards. Always be aware of who is around you and the environment you are in. Because once you say something inappropriate at work or in front of the wrong people, you can't take it back. Always keep in mind that people remember things like this. And if you are insulted by a rude person and fight back with all your might, it still doesn't look like your opponent has got the short end of the stick, but you do. It is always the case that people with character are pulled down by degenerates, never the other way around. So be careful what you say in such situations, often every single word counts. As disgusting as it sounds, society loves it when others suffer reputational damage, because they themselves are usually very dissatisfied with their lives and like to see others put their foot in their mouth. So get into a dialogue with rude people as rarely as possible. It will only hurt your reputation and appearance to others. In your mind, the question may come up: why should I let this person get away with their bad behavior? This can lead you to erupt emotionally, which you usually regret afterwards. But think about it. These people only get away with it if you give them what they want. Namely, your attention through your emotional reaction. They won't get anything if you just look at them silently and smile. So make it clear to your counterpart that they have to adjust their behavior in the future if they want something from you. Say phrases like, "That wasn't necessary," and you will see how the conversation takes a turn and they want to reattain your attention. So, let them starve. Pretend they don't exist and invoke an awkward silence and stare at the affected person. That is enough. Because if you intentionally make the conversation awkward, it will cause negative emotions in the other person and it will put you in the stronger position. If you additionally stare at them, it will seem somewhat intimidating to them and they will once again think twice about how to behave towards you in the future. And if you flash a smile as well, they will be totally confused because they are not used to someone reacting to their aggressive behavior with such an almost inappropriate gesture. So never give them your attention until they have adjusted their behavior towards you appropriately. Then you can make it clear to them, through giving them small doses of attention, that you are not someone who should be treated with such behavior and that you have zero tolerance for these kind of rude interactions. And most importantly, that they need to show a higher level of respect towards you. So use silence and absence to teach people a lesson about how to treat you. In any social gathering, people will try to disrespect you to see an overly emotional reaction from you just because they can and feel like it. So stay calm at all times and rise above it all, my companion. This will give you the opportunity to silence those around you and give more value to your words. Also, you significantly influence your opposite in his choice of words, and you have full control over your own reactions. Signal to everyone that you are not to be trifled with and that they must show a high degree of respect to you in order to be accepted by you. Always stay calm and don't let anyone walk all over you.